Indeed, indeed. Okay, so welcome. Good morning. If you were here uh, like 2 minutes ago, we had great banter. This is our third Texas Power Up of the year. It's already halfway through January. It happens so fast. The market's heating up, which is super exciting and great for all of us. We'll go ahead and start with shout outs. So find your little reaction button, put your hand up, shout outs, gratitude, anything positive. And while you're finding that, I'll give a couple shout outs to just inspire you. I want to shout out Alexandra and Faith on the Austin team. They are going to run a very winning call night tonight. We are very excited about that. But outside of that, Cheryl Miller in Houston, she penned a 380 buyer, you guys, from open houses. So that's exciting. So get out there and do those opens. Joseph Madrid, Austin, signed a 675 listing and penned it right away from expired. This is just last week. Jonathan Hand in Austin signed a buyer purchasing over $1 million worth of real estate that he got from an open house that he did, I think, in his first month of real estate 2.5 years ago. He reached out to them like 58 times during that time. So that was really cool. And then last shout out goes to Memo in Austin. He penned a 249 buyer that he got from an internet lead 2.5 years ago. He reached out to them guys 79 times in the last 2.5 years. That's how you get it done. It's not 1 or 2 or 3 calls. If it was that easy, I'd be like a billionaire right now and I'd probably be on a yacht somewhere. But you know what? I am just like you, and I don't call 59 times when I really should. So who else do you want to shout out this morning? What other gratitude do you have? Pop your hand up because it is necessary. Gratitude is the way forward. Oh, wait, it'll be awkward and awesome. Hi, May. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. I want to give to Jen Smith over there in Dallas, and just for teamwork. And Jen, it was great talking to you. Great getting to know you, and thank you so much for supporting the team. So
I love it.
To sending you some good news in the next couple of weeks.
I love it. Jen is such a hustler, y'all. If you don't know Jen, she is a hustler. I love that. I love that. Good shout out, Elizabeth. Yes, ma'am.
I just wanted to give a shout out to my little team within a team of Michael and Jesus. We especially me, like Jesus. I mean, I let Michael go home because he's a salaried employee, but Jesus and I have been working nonstop. We don't want to take days off. Don't worry, we rest and keep our energy up, but we're super pumped. The pipeline's great. We've been working really hard the last couple months to build the pipeline, and it's paying off and it's motivating us further. So, but I think without Jesus being equally as motivated, it would have been hard for me. And I think we just keep pushing each other. And same thing with the rest of the team, Jordan and Allie and Sally and stuff. I see them working really hard and it inspires me. So just want to thank everyone for keeping that.
Man, what is it what Chris says? Environment is the invisible hand that shapes us, right? And when everybody that you're around starts stepping up, it is so motivating. So motivating. Love that. Love that. Okay, cool. You guys are really very grateful this morning. Awesome. At least 2 of you are. Brandon, we'll wrap with you, sir.
What's up? Just want to circle back to the gratitude from last week as well. Just something we talked about probably from goal planning to the end of the year was just identifying these gaps and really taking ownership in the things we can control and the things we can't control and the type of energy that we're bringing each other and things like that. And so, I mean, we had a good year last year, but not what we wanted to do. And what I'm grateful for this year is that, the team members that are putting in all the work, which is everyone that's here right now, we turned that page together and kind of, said, hey, we really are going to identify these gaps and work on them, and the stuff we can't control, we're going to just, let that happen. But, everyone's been showing up really well, and it's reflected in their business, and it's something I'm really, really proud of, but also very excited for them because it seems like we're on that year 3. We're on the same page. We're going to make it happen this year in a bigger way. And a lot of that's showing up the right way. And they're doing that right now. And I really appreciate it. And I'm grateful for them.
Right on. Go San Antonio. Love that. Love that. Hope you guys show up to call night tonight too. We're ready for you.
Oh, we will. We
All
will.
right.
Yeah.
For everyone doing place call night tonight, third Thursday, you know how that goes. It's gonna be just a blast. We'll see how everybody rocks call night. Let's switch gears. You guys ready? Let's get into our topic for today. So we're halfway through the month, and I wrote a couple notes down. If you are a note taker like me, feel free to take out a pen or take out your phone or laptop, however you do it. If you are not like me and you have amazing memory, that's cool for you. Whatever floats your boat. So we're halfway through the month, and I'm reminded of just halftime in anything, right? Anything that we do. It serves as a reminder to check in on our progress, right? I know a lot of you guys are Cowboys fans, right? And what happens when they're ahead at halftime? Like, what do you think the coach goes in and says at, in the locker room? What do you think they say to each other if they're ahead? What does that sound like?
Don't get too comfortable.
Ooh, yeah, true, Jen.
Stay focused.
Stay focused. Yep. Other Jen. Oh, Jen's are on fire this morning.
Don't stop pushing.
Don't stop pushing. Right on, Tam. So what if they are not winning at halftime? Like, what if that score is not what they want to see? What do you think that conversation sounds like?
Like you've been here before, you know what to do.
Yeah. Oh man, did you play sports?
I used to.
There you go. Okay, there's some experience there. What else? What do you think they're like? What does that conversation sound like in the locker room? Halftime.
It's time to double down.
Time to double down. Yes. Love
This
it.
game is over. We can. It's still ours to win or lose.
Still
But-
ours to win or lose. Yep. Okay, so I love that. So you guys know. So now, we talk about that in our business, right? Oftentimes, we think we just got to work harder, right? And maybe that is true, right? Like, but it's usually not what I'm talking about, right? If you're already working 40 plus hours in your business, right? Like, that's not what we're talking about here, right? You're already working hard, right? Now, if you're working 20 hours in your business and you're expecting $40, 40 hours a week type of income, like, that's probably not going to work anywhere. It's not just here. It's just anywhere you go, right? So don't piddle paddle for 20 hours and then expect full income. But that's not what we're talking about, right? We're talking about you're working, but man, it's just like not like, maybe it's just not coming together. You don't feel like you're getting ahead. It's halftime all the time. And you're like, every halftime, I feel like I'm behind, which is, not a good feeling. So Ben often says this. He says, you gotta plug the holes in your bucket, right? Like, imagine you've got a bucket, everybody's got a bucket. Like, if I had like this water bottle and all of a sudden I have holes everywhere, like I lose all the water, right? Now I may be putting a ton of work on the top funnel. Like, I may be putting water in every day, but if I've got holes like throughout the bottom, like, will I ever have a full bottle? Not a hard question. Yeah. All right. I see something. Thank you. That's so today we're going to dive in and kind of explore some of those holes. Like, sometimes they could be our mindset, you guys. Sometimes it could be that we're in a funk, right? Sometimes it could be that our strategies we're doing the right activity, but our strategy around it is like, like it's missing something. So our goal today is just write down like the things that speak to you when you look at your business bucket and you're like, oh man, I do have some of those holes. I'm going to have to like figure that part out for myself, right? So I'm going to start with a couple of quick fire examples. And then I've got a panel that is either going to expand on that. They're going to share their experience with you. So it's going to be quick fire. So just get ready to go. Here's an example of a hole in your business. Let's say that you are really good at calling your leads. You get into Brivity, you get on the dialer, you're like excited, you're feeling good about life. But then if you go to your Brivity like activity reporting and you go down to the portion where it says percent that you texted, right? And what Ben always says is we shouldn't just be calling. Like, if I'm Jordan, maybe I'm texting somebody and I say something along the lines of, hey, Adeline, I know that you loved 123 Main Street It just had a price drop of $20,000 with rates just sliding into that 6% right now. And this price drop, I think this home is positioned to sell this time around. Let me know if you'd like to see it in person or if you'd rather me do a video tour and send it over to you, right? Like that's a personal text, right? So our team in Austin, we're only texting 5% of all of our leads. How do people like to be communicated with? Oftentimes by text. But it's not a how are you text. It's a here's this property that you favorited. Here's, right? So yes, calling, a lot of our teams are doing great with that. Texting, man, like that's a whole, right? Like every time that they favored a property, like are we sending that personal text? Another example, right? Your business plan said in January, you're going to do 8 open houses, 6 open houses, 4 open houses, 22 open houses. It is halfway through the month and you've done 1 or 2, maybe like 30%, right? So our team in Austin, we're 40% behind on open houses, right? And so nothing that, like, you guys are probably ahead. So I'm not talking to you guys. I'm probably just talking to my team right now. But you never get the now business, like that now business, the people that are like relocating to your area, the people that are like excited that rates are going down, like you don't even get to like meet them because you're not out there in the community and you don't get that face-to-face time, which is what we're really all great at. Another example, you penned a property, like you did all the hard work and you penned a property and then you just work on that pending. And you don't circle prospect around the neighborhood to let everybody know, like, hey guys, we just got this property under contract. The seller was able to sell at great value. They're getting ready to move to XYZ, etc. Because the second one property sells, you got 3 of them coming up in the next few months, right? So you don't get to discover who the next seller is. So you did all this work for one deal, which is awesome. Congratulations, you get paid. Just don't get paid multiple times, right? So like we do the hard work, we put the water in, but then we got little holes where it's coming out and we don't get to like layer on that and have like momentum in our business, right? An example is, maybe I'm representing Brandon as a tenant, right? He doesn't want to buy a house, can't buy a house right now. So you know what? I'm a good person. I get them out there. I find them a nice rental and then I forget about them. Anybody ever forget about tenants? No, you guys are awesome. Okay, maybe Jordan, cool. You and I are the same. We might forget about them. We don't set up that task for 6 months from now, right? That we check in with them and get them on a home ownership plan. So when their lease comes up, like they're not renting again. Number 1, they haven't forgotten about you. Number 2, they're not renting again, right? Home ownership plans, right? So those are kind of like the sort of things that came to mind. You do an open house and you wait until Monday to reach out to them. I hear it all the time in the office. And I'm like, no, don't, like they forgot about you. They went to 5 different open houses, right? Think about what am I doing? Because you're doing the right things oftentimes, but where's that hole in the bucket? So I've got a cool panel this morning. Some people that we've heard from before, some that we are going to hear from for like maybe the first time, which is really exciting. I'm going to find everybody. Good luck to me. Okay, I found Sally so far. Yay, Sally. Let me find Allie. Hold on. Add spotlight. Yes, ma'am. Found you, Allie. Let me find Megan. Megan, I don't know you, so I'm excited to hear from you. Add spotlight. And then I've got one more that confirmed, which was Jordan. There you are. Jordan Poland. Let's see. Okay. All right. Ooh, who wants to go first? Like on this topic of plugging holes in your business, like what are you seeing in your business? And what should we do about it? Like, give us anything you want to share this morning. Jordan, you look pretty ready. No?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So, I mean, first off, I think for me personally, I know that December was kind of a weird month, right? Like it felt a little slow and, I had a listing that wasn't going that great and things slowed. But then the Monday after Christmas, we had showings all over the place, right? And then I did an open house and we had like 45 guests come through in 2 days, right? And so that to me was like, oh man, there's a lot of opportunity here. So my first hole was just not being active and engaged with my database or the market, right? And that's where now it's such a good time for open houses, right? Interest rates are going down a little bit, but on top of that, we're seeing so many people out in the market. And like you said earlier, we need to get that right now business. And open houses is one of the best ways to do that, right? My other hole, which goes along with this, was just not following up, right? So I'm really good. If I meet someone at an open house and they're ready to go, I will be on top of them like crazy, right? But then there's a couple people who maybe take a little while, right, to nurture. And I just decided I wanted to have a good year and I wanted to show up for myself. So I came in and started calling, and surprise, like you just follow up with the people and your spring pipeline is now looking really great. So yeah, that's what it was for me. There's a quote that really means a lot to me, but it says, "It's amazing how a good day's work will get you right back to feeling like yourself." And so
Say that one more time. People might zoom out and zoom back in. Okay, this quote, you guys got to write it down because I loved it when you shared it with me. Say it again.
it's amazing how a good day's work will get you right back to feeling like yourself.
Yes.
Because how many of us allow our business and how productive we are to determine how we feel about ourselves, right? Probably a lot of us. And it's not true, one, but also in that moment, all we have to do is just get back to doing what we know works. And the moment you start having one or two really good phone calls, all of a sudden you're like, wow, I can do this. This can be a really great year. So that's the journey that I've been on.
I love that. And one thing you said, Jordan, that I wrote down as you were saying it was that you are choosing to show up for yourself, right? That is, and it's a choice. All of us have, like, I'm sure, Jordan, that your life is not perfect. Maybe it is. Like, maybe you're really awesome, but I'm sure there might be something in the background. Like, you might have a personal life, you might be dealing with other things, but you know what? Like, in this area of your life, your career, you're choosing how you're going to show up, and how we show up determines like how the byproduct of that, right? Everything's got a byproduct. Love that, Jordan. Really love that. Who's next? Who wants to share?
I would love to.
Yeah, and I saw your
piggyback on
hand.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd love to piggyback on Jordan because he said that quote to me, and that was really impactful for me. So coming into the new year, I set really big goals for myself. I've been on the team for 6 months, and I set the goal of 25 units in 2023. So that's a really big goal for myself. And I started to feel like, oh man, who am I? Like, how did I choose this goal? Like, can I actually do that? So that fear was kind of setting in and a little bit of doubt. So I guess my whole was my mindset. You hear like the doom and gloom in the news. The market was kind of slow at the end of December and early January. So I was just feeling all of those things. And I said that to Jordan, like, hey, like I'm fearful and I'm holding myself back. And he repeated that quote to me. And I was like, dang, I just need to do it. Like, I just need to do the activities regardless of the fear or the doubt that I have. And it's true. Like, you feel so much better when you're productive, when you accomplish something. And so I did. I had an open house as well. For 2 hours, I had 20 groups come through. I've been in contact with 5 of those people. I've shown homes to 1 of them. And so just generating that energy again feels so, so good. And I came into the office late one night last week, and Allie was in there, and Allie was chatting about today we have a competition. So I don't know if anybody else knows this, but Allie created a competition for our BKT Dallas North team. And it's the first agent on the team to complete like 50 dials in brevity, 50 doors knocked, send these scripts, send these comments on social media. So all these things we have to check, and it's like a race. And whoever completes all of those things first wins a massage. So we're all like super excited and motivated to get into activity. And so I think like having something fun like that is super helpful. Like, make it fun, generate the energy again amongst the team, because apparently it was not just me who was feeling that way.
That is so true, because we often feel like we're the only ones feeling like that. And that's such a lie, right? Like, no way, everybody else is feeling it. Like, I love that. I love what you said. If you are in a funk or if you've got fear showing up, like the fastest way to get through it is to get into activity. Oh, I love that. Can I ask, where do you think your business is going to come from in 2025? Oh, 2025, 25 units in 2023. But really, if you want to go as far as 2025, have at it. But where are you going to close your business from? Like, what does your business plan look like for that?
Sure. 100% of my business this far has come from open houses. I just do well face to face with people. I think like people coming into an open house are a little bit warmer than cold calling. So for me, that's my strength, is interacting with people in person.
So then are you doing like one open house a week, or like what does that look like? How do you get 25 deals out of doing open houses?
So in December, like November and December, I was doing 8 hours of open houses every week.
Okay.
So far this year, I'm doing like 4 a week right now, just because it's been harder to find open houses, but we're ramping it back up.
Okay, so at least 16 hours a month, at least.
At least, yeah.
Okay, copy that. Thank you, Megan. Awesome. Sally, what about you? How are you feeling?
I'm feeling great.
All right, I like that.
Yeah, and my best lead generation lever is also open houses. I love doing them. I love meeting people. It's easy for me, and I've done well with that. So if I would add to that, I need to do better with door knocking before a few houses, and then following up. Well, actually, I feel like I'm pretty good at following up, but I guess I could, door knock better and all that. But I was thinking and laughing about how I don't do well getting referrals from clients. Now my past clients come back, they seem to really love working with me. And when I ask them and I tell them, I got a goal, they're like, oh my gosh, Sally, you're going to do awesome. You always do, but no referral. It's like, hello. So talking to Sarissa, she was like, but maybe your VIP list is not what it needs to be. So I've got to work on getting better, a better VIP list. And I want everybody to remember, you're going to live in lack or abundance. Okay. Are you going to continue to have the really positive attitudes? Because I literally started talking about this and I didn't search anything out, but you put out the power of attention, and we all learn in bold, what you focus on expands, but it's so true. You put out that power of intention, and literally I immediately got 2 referrals from clients. One I haven't even worked with yet, that I've just spoken to them and getting ready to meet with them. And they turned around and sent friends of theirs who I just met with yesterday. So, live in a space that can let it come to you. And also I think about January, like we don't ever want to admit that maybe January might start out a little slow. We always want it to be really strong. And some people like Elizabeth at times have had really strong Januaries. Okay. But there's also a point that it's the time of year that like, give me a break. We just came out of Christmas and New Year's and this big push. And, you've got Alexandra on your team. She can tell you what January's meant for. And we're watching right now here in Dallas, things just speeding up. You can feel it. I mean, whether it's with open houses or people reaching out and asking questions. So live in abundance, guys. It's power of intention too.
I love that. I love how it's just 3 words, power of intention. It's so easy to remember and to apply, right? And I love what you said about what you focus on truly does expand. If you focus on what's not working well, that's what's going to continue to happen. If you focus on the possibility, I love that you got those 2 new referrals. How are you defining your VIP list, if I may ask? How do you plan to?
Well, better than I have been. I mean, if I really like the people, then I'm like, oh, they're wonderful. They must be, on my VIP list. But honestly, maybe they're just like nice loners that don't have enough friends or something. I don't know. So, I don't really have a clear plan for that, but I do have a plan for once how I'm going to invite them to things and how I'm going to be more direct with that. And yeah, I mean, it's not in cement, but I'm gonna
No,
make it
sure.
happen. So
I love that. I love that. You're gonna plug another hole. I love that. When you door knock around an open house, what does that sound like? I know a lot of people choose to skip that part of the open house plan. Like if you were door knocking, today for an open house, what does like a typical Sally sound like?
just being friendly and inviting them. Hey guys, I've got an open house this afternoon at 1. I'd love for you guys to stop by and tell me what you think of the property. I'd love your feedback, and who do you know? Like just warmly inviting them to stop by. And it's not a bunch of houses. It's not going to take a lot of time, but I think I missed the boat in, did I really plan for that extra 20, 30 minutes beyond getting the signs out? Did I plan to go knock on the doors? And because I like meeting people, it's really simple. You just have to do it.
I love that. I love that it's not complicated. And I'm so glad you said it exactly like how you say it, because it doesn't have to be complicated for it to work, right? Love that, Sally.
Thank you.
Right on, right on. Allie, you want to go next?
Oh yeah.
All right.
I just love listening to you guys, Jordan, Megan, Sally. This is awesome. And they were not feeling this way a couple weeks ago. So but you know what, that's incredible. That's the way that life is. That's the way that it is. So here's the hole that we have to plug in order for all of those things to take place. You have to keep promises to yourself. So something we talked about this week is whoever has your ear has your future. And if you're listening to the news and you're listening to other agents, or you're just, I don't know, listening to the rumbling of the market and you're believing it, then the market sucking, that's your future. And you start to believe it. And then guess what it does for you? It gives you an excuse not to be in activity because it sucks anyway. So you really don't want to be disappointed or put the work forward that you need to be doing, but it gives you the perfect out to not stay true to the promises that you made to yourself, to your big why, to your family, to every person that you intend to help or be an influence in their life in some way because of this business. And so it's just, that's like, there's a couple of quotes that I want to share with you guys. Awesome. I feel like a lot of times, I say the same activities every single time in coaching. Well, how many open houses are you going to hold this weekend? Well, how many doors are you going to knock? Or did you call anybody this week? Well, you only did. Well, it's the same thing, guys. We know all the things, but the key is keeping promises to yourself and staying true to your word. Your word is your bond, right? We've all heard that so many times, but there's nothing more true than that. And so I'm going to share a quote with you from Transformation Tuesday, a long time ago. I love this. We cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we used when we created them. So if you're in a place of lack and your business is not where it needs to be, you're not going to get a bigger business by listening to the news or using the excuse of this is what it is and I might meet failure. Something that Jordan reminded me of yesterday when we were chatting is on a call whenever Ben called us all losers. He's like, you guys are losers. And people are like, what? But we should be losers. We should be trying so hard that we are losing and winning at the same time. But if we're not losing, if we're not trying, then we're never gonna do the things we promised ourselves we would do. And this is at Allie too. We're all in this place, but guess what? It's time to get out of it. And I went off a little bit on the team in Allie fashion. So it's not really going off. I'm pretty sure I still said everything with a smile. However, we did a whole thing with our FSBO script from Jeff Glover. If you guys haven't listened to it, I have these random business crushes on people. I love Jeff Glover's FSBO script. So script practice on Monday, that's what we did. Everybody wrote it down. It was so great. Oh my gosh, we're calling for sale by owners, and my team would kick butt if they did it. However, the next day I asked, so, how many of you guys actually gave it a try? And no one raised their hand. And they're totes cool with me calling them out because we're all about growth and competition. They know I love them and they know I believe in them. However, that was disappointing. So it's one of those things, they didn't keep the promise to themselves. And so I said, what the heck is going on? You guys came up with this big why, you came up with this business plan. You guys have all these great ideas and all the things that you need to do. And yet you're not You're not doing it. And so who has your ear? Clearly not who needs to have your ear, because this being part of Place, having our toolkit, having all of these things, systems, tools, everything we need, we're not using them because it's so much easier to just not follow through on the promises to ourselves, because then we don't risk failure. We don't risk vulnerability. We don't risk anything, but then we also will never gain anything at all. So yeah,
I love
that's my whole plug.
I love that. Oh man, you know what? And I'm looking forward to expanding on this probably next week, guys, because we're gonna wrap up the month of January real quick. I mean, you blink and it's like a whole month, 1/12 done. Ali said 3 quotes I wrote down, and hopefully you got them too. Keep promises to yourself. Woo, yes. Whoever has your ear has your future. Yes. And if you've got kids, you should share these quotes with your kids. I got teenagers, so this is like right up our alley, literally, pun intended. And your word is your bond. I love that. Sounds a lot like 4 agreements, right? I like that so much. We have call night tonight, guys. So I'm gonna let you guys go because it's 9 o'clock. I'm gonna let you guys get revved up for your whole day. And then next week we'll just continue expanding on this because it's such a great topic. And I'm so grateful because none of us are losers and none of us are we're all losing and winning at different times, multiple times a day. And that is normal. Because we are getting after it, right? Like the only people who don't have a lot going on are the ones not doing anything. But if you've got stuff going on, it means you're going to have highs and lows, and that we're all here to support each other. Love it. Megan, Sally, Ali, Jordan, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much. Texas, you're awesome. We'll see you next week. Bye, guys.